Okay, Osho, 21-day course in meditation, day 14, how to stop judging people. How to stop judging people. Okay. Today's Osho talk helps us to understand that it is most important to see why you judge and how you judge. So, why we judge and how we judge. In the present moment, if you're there without thinking, just facing something like a mirror, it is witnessing, a passive awareness where no judgment is possible because judgment can exist only against past experiences and past evaluations. It stems out of one's beliefs, ideologies, and concepts. But, I mean, who knows when this talk was given? This talk could have been given a long time ago. So when he says judgment can exist only against past experiences and past evaluations, he's not taking into account the way we live today and how the news is programming people with judgments. And I'll talk about that more in a second. So even people who don't watch the news are getting inputs that they're not realizing because they're walking around in their lives not completely conscious. I don't want to call them unconscious, like a negative judgment or saying anything bad about them, but I have my 1984 t-shirt on, War is Peace, Freedom is Slavery, and there's a large group of people that are showing others that your cell phone, it tracks you, and walking around with this phone, and then what's happening in China with the facial recognition stuff, and you have like a social credit scores, and it's like modern day slavery is people just have an iPhone and they think they're free. It's a long thing. It's a whole big thing. It's like an Agenda 21 type of thing. But if you're walking around, the way most people walk around, they're not completely present. And in that mindset, in that way of living, they take in inputs, and I'm just going to say what it is now, so it'll be faster. So because of this 21-day thing, I'm posting my videos on Twitter. I have 2 different Twitter accounts. And so I make the video while I do the live stream, and then I post the videos up to Twitter. So I'm seeing stuff that I wouldn't normally see because I'm on there every day now for this is the 13th day. And yesterday, when I went to put stuff up, I watched a young kid getting beaten for wearing a MAGA hat, and it was really upsetting to me, of course. And then also there were people underneath going, "That's fake. That's fake." And, months ago, I went to a yoga class to support a friend, and we have another friend who was there, and everything was great until one of the friends, who is an intuitive healer also, actually said that the red MAGA hat is a racist hate symbol, and truly believes this. Truly believes this. Okay. And I said, what about a short skirt? If you're going to look at a red hat and you're going to say that means, if you're going to assign a judgment to what an article of clothing means, it's no different than a short skirt meaning I want to get laid right now. Is she asking for it? Is that what a short skirt means? Anyway, I was bawling. I bawled my eyes out. I was crying so hard, because it was so easy to make people believe that these red MAGA hats mean something. And they're worn by black people, they're worn by Latinos, they're worn by... You have to listen to why people are putting these hats on. And it was very upsetting to me to see this video. I didn't ask to see it. It just popped up when I went in to try and get onto the thing where I use to post my videos. Obviously, I was meant to see it. I went through something yesterday. After I saw that, it took me back to the place where my intuitive, loving friend And you know, I've gone through a lot watching these intuitive people that are like, they make me so sad. You know, if you're judging, so this judgment of right now it's the red MAGA hat, you know, and in Islamic countries it would be not being covered. And what people, if they're dressed like that, this is what they deserve. They're dressed like this is what they deserve. It goes from point A, you know, it's like, wow. And that is what judgment does. We really hurt each other with judgment. We really, not only did they hurt this kid, but they all felt righteous about it. Just like in Islamist countries when they beat the women or they, you know, rape them for not being covered, it's like they're righteous in this. It's a judgment. If you're not covered, this is what you get. And if you wear a red MAGA hat, this is what you get. And it's like, oh, I'm not sad. I did cry yesterday. I cried yesterday because, but this is growth, you know, this is growth. And once those people wake up, you know, hopefully someone's there to hug them, but, oh my God. All right. So it's not just, he says it's just the past, that people, judgment can exist only against past experiences and past evaluations. It stems out of one's beliefs, ideologies, and concepts. What I'm just saying is that people are being given basically a past with which to judge something against, because the mainstream media is telling people, and I don't watch the news, but I was picking my kid up from a bagel place and the news was on and I was waiting for food and I watched and my jaw just dropped because I stay away from it for the most part. They used to just, you know, place adjectives in to help you know the right way to think. But now there's lying. now it's outright lying. And the people who've been taking it in, they don't notice. But it's like if I only see a little kid and I don't see him for a couple of years, wow, you grew so much. But if I see him every day, so the people who are taking in this programming, they don't notice that it's an escalation, you know. But I laughed. It was funny when they were like, oh, this is a conspiracy theory. They use it as an adjective to describe, to tell you how to feel. But now it's like, whoa. So people who are just, if they're not present, and most people aren't, and I love them anyway, but most people are not present. If you're not present, walking around going, that's a manipulation, that's a manipulation, and manipulation, and like just paying attention, then you're taking it in subliminally. It's subliminal, and it's getting in. And I don't hang around with people that, I gave them credit for being loving people, and then when I heard this person, I was like, I don't want to be anywhere near this person. They're so programmed. It's not sad, because letting go of people have made me more available to this group and more available to myself. So anyway, that's what it is. So you can be programmed by the mainstream to judge. Just so you know, I want to make that perfectly clear. You can be programmed by whoever makes money off of your hate is programming you to hate because they make money off of it. That's my 2 cents. All right. Thinking is possible only if the past is there, brought into the present. It's an active state in which you are doing something. We are reminded that witnessing as a passive awareness does not mean judgment. You are not to judge that this is good and this is bad, because the moment you judge, you're no longer witnessing. If you say this is good or this is bad, you've already slipped out of witnessing and you have become a judge. Also, keep in mind that not only is every word a judgment, but language itself is burdened with judgment and can never be impartial. The moment we use a word, we have judged and created a barrier to an open mind. And remember, everybody uses different assigned meanings. So the red MAGA hat, to the people who wear it, it's a symbol of unity and, you know, a country by the people for the people. You have to listen to them say why they're wearing it. But the people who are programmed to think it's a racist hate symbol, their mind, they see it and their mind is instantly closed. And they're calling black people white supremacists. That's seriously happening. In the meditation for today, we'll discover how to make judgments disappear with a simple breathing technique. Osho's insight: how to drop judging people There is no need to stop or drop judging people. You have to understand why you judge and how you judge. You can judge only the behavior because only the behavior is available. You cannot judge the person because the person is hiding behind. The person is a mystery. You can judge the act, but you cannot judge the being. And the act is irrelevant. It will not be right to judge a being through the act. Sometimes it happens that a man is smiling. The act is there on the surface, and deep inside he may be sad. In fact, he may be smiling because he's sad. He does not want to show his sadness to anybody. Why bring one's wounds to everybody? Why? That seems embarrassing. Maybe he's smiling just because he's crying deep down. So Rodney Dangerfield was one of the most depressed people. Okay, so the first thing to understand is that you can look only at the behavior. And the behavior does not mean much. All that is really significant is the person behind. And you don't know. Your judgments are going to be wrong. And you know it because when people judge you by your acts, you always feel that they've judged you wrongly. You don't judge yourself by your acts. You judge yourself by your being. So everybody feels that all judgments are unjust. You feel that judgments are unjust because to you, your being is available. And the being is such a big phenomenon. And the act is so tiny and small, it does not define anything. It may just be a momentary thing. You said something to somebody and he became angry. But don't judge him by his anger, because it may be just a momentary flash. He may be a very loving person. If you judge him by his anger, you misjudge him. And then your behavior will depend on your judgment. And you will always wait for the man to be angry. And you will always think that he is an angry man. You'll avoid the person. You have missed an opportunity. Never judge anybody by their action. But that is the only thing available to you. So what do? Judge ye not. So there was this guy, so I flew airplanes and I worked in it's called an FBO, it doesn't matter, but it's a building on the airport. This guy was freaking out because somebody parked a plane and was blocking him and he was scared. Now, airplanes cost a lot of money. This guy's freaking out. So I walked up to him and the mechanics were like, oh my God, I thought you were going to get killed. I said, listen, you got to calm down. You have to calm down right now. I said, we don't act like that here. He was out of control. And I said, tell me what is happening and I'll fix it. And so, and I was like so tiny compared to this huge guy. And he calmed right down. And he was just worried about his airplane that cost all this money. And I could feel intuitively that he had purchased an airplane that he couldn't write just a check. It was like a big, huge purchase. And he was scared about the purchase. And now he's worried about his purchase, that, the airplane getting hurt or whatever. And he's worried about it costing more money to fix it. So I calmed him down. But the person he was when I first came up to him, when he was freaking out, he seemed like one way. And then when I said, I'm going to get the tug and I'm going to move that one, this is what I'm going to do. I told him what I was going to do. And he calmed right down, and then he felt bad. And then he came to apologize. And I said, no, it's okay. It's all right. Because he came to me. It was like a dog with his tail between his legs. Yeah. All right. I really hope that, if you guys just learn this. Oh, and I got judged constantly for being flighty and spacey and stupid, including by my very best friend. And I was just listening to angels the whole time telling me what's going on. So like as I'm sitting in a conversation and people are talking, I was getting inputs on what was happening behind everything. And people would look at me and go, Carla? Hello? And it's like, no, I'm right here. And they always judge me like you never pay attention, you never listen. And I'm like, the irony of it was just hilarious because I was listening to the people, but I was also listening to whatever tells me the stuff. And I'm like, I not only know what you said, I know why you said it. I didn't say that, I didn't tell anybody, but I was judged. And I still don't even tell people really what I do. I'm telling you guys. By and by, become more and more aware of the privacy of being. Every being inside his own soul is so private, there's no way to penetrate it. Even when you love, something at the deepest core remains private. That is man's dignity. That is the meaning when we say man has a soul. Soul means that which can never become public. Something of it will always remain deep, lost in some mystery. From the outside, that's what we can judge. From the outside, it is always wrong. Seeing it again and again, understanding it again and again, penetrating it again and again, you will not need to drop judgments. They drop of their own accord. Remember, don't try. Trying is not doing. Just watch. Whenever you judge, you are doing something foolish. It does not apply to the person at all. It can apply only to the act. And that act, too, is taken out of context because you don't know the person's whole life. It's as if you tear a page from a novel and you read it and you judge the novel by it. It is not right. It is out of context. The whole novel may be a totally different thing. You may have taken a negative part, an ugly part. You don't know anybody's life in its totality. A man has lived for 40 years before you come to meet him. Those 40 years of context are there. The man is going to live 40 years more when you've left him. Those 40 years of context are going to be there. And you saw the man, just a single instance of him, and you judged him. That is not right. That is just stupid. It will not have any relevance to the man himself. Your judgment will show some... I love how Osho calls things stupid. When you read his books, he just says things are stupid. He doesn't have English as a first language, but it just cuts right to the chase. Let that be helpful, not prickly for you. Your judgment will show something more about you than about the man. Judge ye not, so that ye may not be judged. That's what Jesus says. Your judgment shows something about you, nothing about the person you have judged, because his history remains unavailable to you. His being remains unavailable to you. All contexts are lost. There's just a momentary flash, and your interpretation will be your interpretation. It'll show something about you. Seeing this, judging disappears. And then if you believe in past lives, you're bringing all this stuff in from before. And childhoods. A lot happens before age 7. A lot gets recorded. And the ego loves to say, this is good, this is bad. Now I know what that is, and now I put it in the right box. Okay, the meditation, transforming judgments. Osho says, whenever you want to change a pattern of the mind that has become a long-standing habit, changing your breathing is the best thing. All habits of the mind are associated with the pattern of breathing. Change the pattern of breathing, and the mind changes immediately, instantly. Try it. Also, this occurred to me, so there's a proper way to breathe, but if people have trauma, then they can often breathe backwards. And the easiest way to fix that is if you lay on your belly on the floor, and you breathe. That way you'll feel your belly. When you breathe in, focus on your belly. Lay on your stomach on the floor, breathing in big belly. I don't know why, but laying on your stomach is like the easiest way. Good morning, Roxanne and Nicole, everybody, Donna. Hopefully, yep, Donna's back. All right. The technique, whenever you see that judgment is coming and you're going into an old habit, immediately exhale. As if you were throwing the judgment out with the exhalation. Exhale deeply, pulling the stomach in. And as you throw out the air, visualize that the whole judgment is being thrown out. Also, I think it helps, it's like forgiveness. Forgiveness is, I forgive people for me. It's not a condoning, but I think you guys understand this. I forgive someone for me because that helps me relax. So if I'm holding a judgment and I throw it out, that is also for me. It's something I don't have to hold anymore. Okay, somebody gets that. So start by exhalation, not inhalation. If you want to throw something out, start by exhalation and see how immediately the mind is affected. When you want to take something in, start inhaling. If you want to take something in, inhale. Simply do this and immediately you will see that the mind has moved somewhere else. A new breeze has come. You're not in the old groove, so you'll not repeat the old habit. This is true for all habits. For example, if you smoke, if the urge comes to smoke and you don't want to, immediately exhale deeply and throw the urge out. You can do it with food, too, like McDonald's fish sandwich. Okay. I don't really want them anymore, but I used to for a long time. All right. For example, if you smoke and don't want to, immediately exhale deeply and throw the urge out. Take a fresh breath in, and you'll see immediately that the urge has gone. This can become a very, very important tool for inner change. Just try it. It's really cute. Quote of the day. Whenever there's no conflict between you and the whole, not even a rumor of a conflict, you are healthy. To be whole is to be healthy. To be whole is to be holy. And what is the way to be holy, healthy, and whole? Your heart should beat in the same rhythm as the heart of the whole. It is a great cosmic dance. It is a great harmony. So while I don't like people judging, I still have to love them. I still have to bless them, forgive them, respect their free will choice to judge and hate, and love them. Otherwise, my judgment, if I'm hating their judgment, if I'm hating whatever they're doing, I'm doing what they're doing. So I'm adding to what I want to get rid of. I'm just making more of it. I'm making more hate. I'm making more judgment. So those of us that can, that are able, as we see things that we don't like, so whenever you're about to judge or whenever you find yourself judging, you'll exhale. But at the same time, just remember, if I hate that person for hating, or if I judge that person for judging, I'm doing what they're doing. I'm adding to it. I'm feeding what I want gone. It's like hate has no home here. That's exactly where hate lives. That's what you're creating. And it's an interesting time we live in. And I don't have very many people that understand what I'm saying, but that's okay, because one person with 1,000 level vibration raises 2 million. That's all we need to do. So those of us that can need to keep loving and holding the space, getting ready for the people who've been hating, the people who've been judging, to figure out that they've been hating, been judging, they've become part of the problem. We need to be ready for them, to hug them and say, it's okay, just like I did for the man with the plane. So come into the space where you are, open to receive healing in your highest best from the highest, holiest source creator energy. See yourself in the center of the big white spotlight of the highest, holiest source creator energy. Big, white, iridescent light. See yourself sitting in the center. Resistance clearing. You can let your body move and stretch. And we can set the intention deep, deep inside. I set the intention to be one of the loving ones, one of the peaceful ones. I set the intention to be able to bless, forgive, respect free will choice, and love all, including myself. It's just a matter of standing outside, just slightly outside of the circle of nonsense and all the drama and all the tantrums happening, all the drama and all the tantrums. It's just a matter of us standing outside and waiting for those to go, wait a second, I don't want to hate anymore. And we're there going, hi, yes, welcome. Oh, it's okay, we forgive you. You know, it's just kind of like that. It's like we're up on a hill, we're all on our own hills. And when the people get tired of the hate and the nonsense and the drama and the feeling sick and the being sick, and they climb one of our hills, we're right there going, you did it, good job. All right. Connect your tailbone to Mother Earth, wrap around the core. And we're going to, after we do what he said, we're going to do a little more of deprogramming from, I think it was yesterday, where we're just going to use the breath to clear out all the old programs. Good. From your heart, connect up to whatever heaven means to you. God, highest, holiest source, creator, energy, prime creator, universe, spirit, whatever word you give it. Connect your heart up through your crown chakra at the very top of your head. Connecting up. I'm going to do 3 breaths focus on your tailbone. Breathing in, bring Earth's energy up through your channel to the top of your head. Breathing in, up. Note the pause at the top of the breath and make a flower at your crown. And exhaling, bring heaven's energy down. Good. Good. Note the pause at the bottom. Ground back to Mother Earth in a fresh new way. Now breathing in, Earth's energy up through your channel. Note the pause at the top of the breath. Bigger flower. Receive more from heaven. And exhale slowly through your mouth. Bring heaven's energy back down through your channel. Good. Reconnect with Mother Earth as a more grounded, more powerful, more spiritual human being. Higher vibrational. Inhale. Earth's energy up through your channel. To the top of your head. Bigger flower. Even bigger. Pulling in more abundance. More spiritual abundance. And as you exhale, heaven's energy down through your channel. Good. In your heart. Good. Feel how much, push your belly down. Feel how much more grounded you are just with 3 little breaths. You can breathe like that all the time in your life. You can always breathe earth energy up, heaven energy down, earth energy up, heaven energy down. Push your belly down. You know, you can breathe like that as a matter of practice. Okay, good. So just take a moment and just really love yourself for being here and working through all this. Climbing your own mountain to stand at a 1,000 level vibration, to heal yourself in your life, and then be ready to help and heal all others that come out of the mess. You're very important to the world with your high vibration. You're very important to the world because not everybody understands this, and not everybody can really access this right now. There's so much nonsense. Buddhist expression. Silence is the best response to nonsense. All right, I open to receive healing in my highest best. Good, relax your belly. Nice. Now, we're going to take our first exhalation. What do you judge yourself for? Are you fat? Are you ugly? Do you look old? Do you smoke? Whatever you judge yourself for, grab it, and as soon as it starts, exhale. Push all the air out. Push the judgment out. Push all the air out. Hold it out as long as you can. And then you're going to let your body breathe in, and you're going to focus on your heart and open your heart for yourself. Open your heart and let it expand. Good. And you're just going to grab another judgment that you're either aware of or not aware of. As soon as you grab it, exhale. Push it all out. Hold it out. Hold it out. Focus on your heart chakra. And as you inhale sharply, break that so you can open your heart chakra, more unconditional love. Good. Good. I'm just going to clear a little bit. You can breathe naturally or keep going. Good. Very nice. Keep doing this. Grab a judgment. Grab it. Hold the air out. Hold it out. Focus on your heart before you sharply breathe in. Expand your ribs. We're going to do this 2 more times together. Grab a judgment. Don't have to know what it is. Just have the intention of grabbing a judgment or multiple judgments. Good. And just grab them. Hold the air out. Hold the air out. Focus on your heart. Sharp inhale. Expand your heart chakra. Good. One more. Grab a judgment or multiple. Grab all the rest of your judgments because you're ready to get rid of everything. Because now you start to see, just like forgiveness, getting rid of my judgments is the way I want to live. Okay, so just scoop them all up with your arms or with your mind. Scoop all your judgments, all of them. I was doing the world judgments. Hold it out, hold it out. Focus on your heart. And breathe in, expand. Nice. Okay. Now, as you exhale, you're just going to clear your mind, cleanse your mind. Start like ripping down judgments that you hold that you're aware of or not aware of. Because some were given to you by parents, grandparents, teachers, friends. Go ahead. I developed some programming in high school. It's probably where I took mine most, and drinking a case of beer by yourself is very cool. I'm going to let that one go right now. And if you need to, if you want to, exhale hard. Push it out. Push it down. And then focus on your heart before you sharply inhale. Good. Okay. Good. Oh, it's 7:03. I'm just going to keep going a little bit. I'm just going to keep going. It's Saturday. So whoever wants, it is 7:03 though, just for anyone who has to leave at 7. Just going to clear the mind. So the ego loves us. My ego loves me. So my ego is going to feel satisfaction when I can see other people's hatred. It's going to give me, my ego is going to give me some satisfaction, because if I see it, then I'm aware of it. I'm smarter or more superior, or I hate less. That's what it thinks. I see the hate in them. It's very cool. Like, we are where we are in our evolution, like as a human population on the planet. And I know people are like, oh, that's so bad. I'm like, if you judge it as bad, then you hurt yourself right now. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe something deeper is happening. Maybe it's always been bad and people are just starting to become aware of it. Once you're aware of it, if you don't see the dirt on the floor, you can't sweep it up. If you don't see dirt, if you don't see mess, you can't clean it. Whatever it is, if it's a physical mess, if it's an emotional mess, if whatever kind of mess, any kind of a mess, if you don't see it, you can't clean it. Good. Feel your belly nice and relaxed. So, we become aware of messes, now we can clean them. And the more people that become aware of messes, the more people we have to help clean them. That's why Max Egan says, if everybody woke up simultaneously, and he said this before #woke stuff, and there's some irony in that, the woke stuff. Oh my God. It's a show. It's all entertaining. If you stand far enough back, it's entertaining. If you climb into the middle of it, and you're going to get hurt. You know, but if you stand back, if you stay on your mountain, if you stay in your high vibration, you just watch. And when we feel sorry for someone, it's completely pointless. It's all superiority. I'm writing a children's book, and that's where I stopped writing, is how the ego makes us feel sorry for someone. That is the superiority of the ego. The ego works in superiority and inferiority. I'm not good enough, or I'm better than. So it takes you from being completely present. So feeling sorry for someone makes you feel bad, which lowers your vibration, and you're not doing anything for them at all. So it's compassion. People mistake it for pity. So pity is a negative vibration. Feeling sorry for someone is pity, and it's an ego superiority. But having compassion for someone is love plus understanding. So I can stand on my hill with 1,000 level vibration, and I can have compassion for billions of people and their suffering. But I know if I feel sorry for them, or if I lower my vibration, I'm not going to help anybody. You know, I'm right here, and my putting positivity, or my putting high vibrational energy into the collective is what's going to help them raise themselves out. Once people start climbing out of the pit of nonsense and out of the mess, once people start climbing up towards one of us on our hill, it gets easier because the path gets more and more clear. So the hate us no home here people, and the people calling black people white supremacists, they're in nonsense. Their minds are not working. Their minds are just not working. You know, they're just throwing tantrums. Their minds aren't working. But as they start to get clear, as they start to say, I'm not happy here, I'm not happy, what do I do to make myself happy? Or get rid of my cancer, because you can't heal cancer with a low vibration. It's impossible. You have to have a higher vibration. You have to raise your vibration to heal disease. So it's only your ego that keeps you in the nonsense and the mess. It says, no, stay here, keep fighting, keep fighting. Yes, we're going to fight our way to a peaceful world, and we're going to hate our way to a loving world. That's the mess. That's the nonsense. That's what's happening. Does that make any sense at all? To fight your way to peace? I mean, World War II needed to be fought. I understand. And in Bolivia, they're marching for, water. Yes, they have to do this. There's real marches all over the world happening. Citizens uniting and coming together and saying, you don't own our water. You don't own our water. We want water. You can't just own it. So those are marches I can get behind. But anyway, when you stand on your hill and you're the highest vibration you can possibly be, you see so much clearer. You see so clearly. And that's where you're the most effective. You can call to the people and help the people who start climbing up out of the mess. Big belly. It's very interesting to be me. I understand now why people try to put me on sides, because that's so normal. It's how most people are. But just because that's normal and that's how most people are doesn't mean that that's what I am. If I'm just a higher class of dysfunction, it's still not good enough for me. I want to be as high as I possibly can. At pure peace. I'm going to keep going. Keep going. So I will let you go, and I love you guys so much. Okay.